Indoor plant watering instructions, 2019. Okay, so this plant here is probably the thirstiest one in the apartment. He's going to need to be watered at least twice a week. Typically, we have him on a Sunday and Thursday schedule, so just kind of give it a good drink. That should be good enough. And then the bird of paradise, just the rest of these plants pretty much just once a week, so every Sunday would be perfect. So it is actually Sunday today, so you'll see the typical watering. It's a spider plant, obviously. It's okay if some water gets down there because it will eventually drink it up, but you don't need to water it too much. And then the bird of paradise, does take up a lot of water. So typically like a third of this can once a week. This one will tell you when it's thirsty. Right now the leaves are all upright. When it is dry, it will start pretty severely drooping. So usually that's why we water it twice a week. Get some more water. I've watered some of the plants already. This one here, these two, this one and this one, I usually soak in a plastic container. Thank you, Brian. So we just fill it up to about a third with water and then just kind of soak it for maybe half an hour or so, and then we just let it drain on this metal rack for a while. Don't worry about the air plants. The air plants should be fine. This one here, I watered already, but typically I will spray it first and then just kind of water into the little crevices over here. And then we put it back on this moisture tray because it's a fern and it needs a little bit more water. Yeah, if it's easier to water, we usually just kind of put this on this metal drying rack. Yep. And it's easier to water that way. The ZZ plant over here should be okay, but I have been watering it about once a week. Doesn't need too much. And this guy in the corner, he also has those round leaves, and so usually the round leaves plant needs a little bit more water, so he's also on a twice a week schedule, Sundays and Thursdays. So just be careful with this one because the water does drain out pretty quickly onto the bottom here, and we have them on risers. But it does overflow and we don't want it to get on the wooden piece that Brian made here. This is a rubber tree, and he's also on a once a week schedule as well, so every Sunday. And this is a Chinese money plant. And he actually has a plastic container that's on the inside. There's a lining, so just make sure that when you water, you're watering where the soil is. And he has a drainage on the bottom, so don't worry if a little bit of it seeps through. And he should be on a every Sunday, should be fine. But he'll also let you know if he's thirsty, so he'll kind of droop a little bit. Over here I have a seedling. This is a nasturtium seedling, and he'll probably need to be watered every other day, just slightly. And I'll show you the rest of the seedlings in just a little bit. But all these succulents and cacti, you do not have to worry about watering these guys. This one does need to be watered. This one is on a once a week schedule as well. He's growing quite well right now. This one I watered already. This is a ground orchid, and the way that I typically water this is that I take it out of the container here, and then I put it on that metal drying rack, and then I just use the faucet to let just soak it and let the water run through, and then I just put it back. Be careful of these little shish kebab things. I just put it here because Cora likes to pick out the little pine chips and chew on them. So this just prevents her from doing that. So be careful, don't stab yourself. And yeah, you don't really need to worry about the Sansevieria because they're kind of like succulents as well. So any of these succulents or jades don't need to worry about watering. Just that nasturtium in the back, this plant here, this thirsty plant here, the spider plant, and the bird of paradise. Don't really have to worry about the jade. Okay, so those are all the plants in the living room.